your mother.
She's a beautiful woman.
Beautiful woman.
She's a beautiful. I don't even have to put on a voice for that. I could just say,
Hello,
she's a
everybody.
beautiful
It's me, not Puppetine. It's me, RDV, your host of Friday Night Evening with classic.
Friday night evening.
Friday night evening.
Yes.
Not that other Friday night show. We're Friday night evening.
What else can I say that'll trigger you guys into response? Like puppets.
You say Friday evening night. I don't know.
I don't know, but we're here for a retrospective. We're going back to when Breen was a boy.
When I was a boy.
When he was a relatively young man.
When I was about as old as Pixel looks now.
9 years old. That's right. We're talking about the Defenders. Marvel Features number 1 from back in 1972, where we get the team up of the Hulk, Namor, and Doctor Strange. Love.
Namor goes by a different name though, doesn't he?
No.
Nowadays he is Namor, but he's also called the Sub. I
thought you were going to start doing it like dueling banjos.
You turned him into a
Yes, Namor the Submariner or Submariner. You've heard it both ways.
No, we haven't. No.
And then we made up 5 more.
Overall, I said this is a first read for me. Eric just said this is your holy grail that you'll never get.
Well, it's an adjusted grail. I would like to have this book again because it's not ridiculously expensive, but it's also not cheap either.
Well, the crazy part I love about this is this first issue. It says to learn how Doctor Strange returned, read the next part of the story. Basically, the next story tells about how he came back.
Yeah. Well, because up to this point, he'd been running around with I don't even know if mask is the right word because it was featureless.
Okay.
And it covered his whole face, and he was
like the chameleon or question.
Yeah, they were trying to make him more like a standard superhero, I guess. If you want to get somebody riled up, just ask Dalton about it sometime.
What they should have gave him is blue jeans.
Money talks.
Have him the way he is on there, but actually having him some nice blue jeans on there, and some cowboy boots, pirate boots like Captain America.
I mean, his series, when Marvel expanded in '68, they gave the Strange Tales title to Doctor Strange, and it lasted from 169 through 183. So he didn't have his own title at the time. So, but I think he was in that goofy getup when that series ended, and then he made a guest appearance in Submariner number 22, which was kind of a precursor to this, along with Hulk 126. Although for the life of me, I can't figure out how that ties in. But they fought somebody called Nightcrawler. That when they ended up using him again, they changed his name because there was a more popular Nightcrawler by then.
Yeah.
Really? They did that back then? I thought just keeping the same name.
Yeah, and then then there was the 2-part Submariner 34 and 35 that I think we touched on last night, but it was Namor, Hulk, and the Silver Surfer, and in issue 35 they fought Iron Man, Thor, and Clint Barton as Goliath. So those were kind of like setups to test the water to see how fans would react, I guess, to the pairings. And I guess they figured it was positive enough to go ahead and go ahead with this.
It led to the day of the Defenders.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is my new narrator voice.
Well, if we do another reading, you can just be the narrator from now on. We'll give Zach all the villains. Finally, things will be true.
He's playing the Red Skull?
That is my dream.
I want to point out though, going through this book, reading the Hulk, Other than the fact that he had Hulk Hogan's voice the whole entire time.
Oh, yeah, brother.
I could not read his lines without hearing Breen's Hulk Hogan.
Let me tell you
every
something, brother.
freaking
The
word.
Hulk does what Hulk does.
Also, for some reason, Wong was Peter Lorre.
Wong was Peter Lorre?
That's just Wong.
mister.
I gotta
We
say,
should point out real quick that it was written by Roy Thomas,
yes.
Yes.
who was writing a lot of Marvel titles right before Jerry Conway started writing every Marvel title. The artist was Ross Andru, who had primarily been a DC artist up to now. He's probably the most prolific Wonder Woman artist of the Silver Age.
Oh, okay.
And then he obviously, in Marvel fans, he's more famous for being the artist on Amazing Spider-Man for about 5 years.
Okay.
Up at this point, it obviously starts with Doctor Strange, basically going into his astral form because someone's calling him. He thinks it's Wong calling him. Wong is like, I don't hear anybody. You're going crazy, old man.
He says, you're hearing Wong.
And then he goes, don't you have some laundry to finish?
Oh.
Yes, master.
So,
Not that. He does a laundry. The actor does a laundry commercial. That wasn't playing into a stereotype at all.
So up to this point, I guess it's the first time I've ever seen him in astral form back then. Because usually when they show him, it's like he's not like drawn like he's butter.
He does look like the margarine man.
So like I said, at this point, I'm like, okay, who is this guy, and what was important is it? And then what he calls him, in the next, his name's Yandish, but he's
Yandoth or Yardoth.
Yeah,
Yandroth.
But he has a scientist supreme. That's what his name is. Yes. So I quickly go to AIM. I'm like, was it what? But then when you see the device this guy has made, it almost looks like the Kree.
It kind of it does. It looks like the Intelligentsian kind of.
But
it reminds me of Andros, that giant monkey head from the Star Fox video game. That's what it reminds me.
Are we not going to talk about that guy's eyebrow game?
Well, the last time they fought, is explained here. Last time they fought, they were in
Look at that.
a universe that does not exist, and he just
get that guy a trimmer.
But I like it. He says like, I'm not the one anymore. So at this point, I'm like, is he possessed, or is he saying I'm not the one you remember because I'm more smarter than you?
God,
better than you?
I was reading. I was like, I swear, if this is another
multiverse,
if this is a multiverse gimmick.
Right,
oh my,
right.
Wait. I gotta say the opposite. I was kind of hoping that it was that because that going ahead and digging on it works, but no, I love it even more. Scientist Supreme, awesome. Why aren't we seeing the Scientist Supreme?
Did you notice he said to Doctor Strange that I'm smarter than you, I'm better than you, and you know it.
That's true. Yeah.
Hey, a little MJF there on him.
Because I'm Yanderoth, and I am smarter than you, better than you.
So this guy built a giant machine. He says, when I'm dying, I'm blowing up the world. Because I was like,
screw you, world.
The world will remember me. No, it won't. He literally says, like, every stockpile, of a nuclear, stockpile will blow up at the same time, destroying his, and you basically see Doctor Strange like, oh crap, I gotta get back to him in my body,
This is fantastic.
That was really cool. The way the Earth looks. With
all the
that.
The art here is really good.
I don't think the continents look like that anymore.
Well, considering that it's supposed to be the Earth exploding, no,
I
they don't.
I was just wondering what's that blue spot in the top right middle there was. Was that part of Canada? But overall, like I said, so we're already going it speeds up with the action right here, the suspense. He's got to why wasn't this made into like an animated movie, Marvel? This is cool. Of course, he probably.
I mean, I'm sure
diversify
it looks like they used some of this as inspiration for the movie where he's like in his astral form going through the hospital.
So he can't. The thing is, he can't let this guy die because the guy has one of those devices. If I die, the planet, basically. So he goes.
Go back to that last panel.
Okay. Hello.
How awesome would it have been if the one guy had said, "You wouldn't be related to Norman Osborn by any chance, would you?"
No, I would have said like.
I don't think so.
Actually, I would have been like, "Hey, excuse me, are you related to Otto Octavius with those glasses?"
Yeah, but
Jeez.
look at this. That guy's got blue Norman Osborn hair.
A little bit. And then you got Englantine in the background there talking to the nurse.
And then Jane Foster. Yes, Jane Foster. Yes.
Yeah.
Blonde hair right there.
And you got redheaded
Also-
Otto Octavius, yeah.
What fiend gives him all those green cups there? What's all that about?
It's Froggy.
Probably.
You don't want to
He's
know what's
he's
in there.
immortal. Frogomortis.
Frogmortis.
We don't need that guy.
So he basically commands him using a spell. He basically hypnotic suggestion. Yes, Flash, it was me all along. I made you do this. In a sense, they're like working on, but then he dies.
Yeah.
So then he's like, oh crap, I got mere minutes, whatever, I guess, or
5 hours.
5 hours.
5 hours.
Conveniently, 5 hours. So after this, he goes basically. He's gonna look for help. So he's like, well, "Okay, I'll go seek out Namor first." And,
So the first thing he does is he calls the Baxter Building. Sue, have you seen Namor?
Sue, put on your most skin-tight outfit. I need you to attract
here we go.
Namor.
We get a spot of
This was funny to me. I like this scene.
the Eric Reed cameo. Back when he was a kid.
Do you need to borrow a finger?
No, and he's got Pixel with that long thumb down there.
I'll have you know, I never drank with a hat.
I like how they look up like, oh my gosh, it's the guy with the cloak.
True story. That's how
What's
Green
going
quit
on?
drinking.
That's what it was. No.
That's funny. He's like, run away.
All right. I gotta say, how long does it take him to fly? Can't he just teleport?
No.
No, not at this point. He can't.
Well, it depends on who's writing him.
Oh, there you go.
So we find Namor in the green sewage.
Yeah, it's
So-
like, dude. I like how the cloak is strategically placed. It looks like it's like Namor is in the nude, and the cloak is just covered.
They should have committed. They should have gone full
They
on.
should have gone the full thing. There's a little bit of the
Sue would have been
waistband.
so excited.
So he says, magic will not come over, so I need physical brute strength. When magic fails, we just hit it with our hands.
I like how he says, I'll waste no words, and then he does like this whole big old word bubble.
Well, and it's not.
I'll
That's
Are you
waste
saying
no words
that
is code for I am ready to monologue.
as we see here, Mephisto's talking to Namor, and then you have. They mentioned the Undying Ones, so basically that was a plot before this that he was enthralled by the Undying Ones.
Mhm.
Is it? So, like I said, I like the. I don't know if you passed up the line or not.
Look at those
not-
eyebrows. His eyebrows are on point.
I
Literally,
already passed the.
his eyebrows are
Undying
a point.
Yeah.
They're 8 point.
The secrets of Sagrath.
No. What? I don't think
I think that happens during the Hulk.
Yeah, with the Hulk, right? Yeah. Yeah. So basically, he's like, "Well, we need the Silver Surfer. Let's go look for him." He's flying into a brick wall,
Yeah.
invisible brick wall.
Yeah,
That's
because
right.
this is after the coming of Galactus. What Galactus imprisoned
And we
him
see
on
him
Earth,
crash.
basically, and so
Is
he
he-
can't leave the atmosphere.
So, do we really want to pin the hopes of the Earth on a guy that literally keeps flying into a brick wall?
And I love
trying to get
Stephen
away.
Strange here. Oh, he's not badly hurt.
But he's
Yeah.
not going to be okay in
Fine.
time to help us. And if that's the case, it doesn't matter. He's not going to wake up.
Bye, bitch.
As Iceman lays there, oh no. Sorry, looks like
Hey.
Bobby Drake.
And then
Yeah. But yeah, let's go find Thor. But crap. Immortal Thor is doubtless battling menaces beyond the world. Whatever.
Hulk will
But
do.
Hulk, your skill set shivers up my spine, Mage.
Or it might
That's
be
not my
because you're
magic.
not wearing anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Praise be God, because it's basically the Hulk is really trollish in this. You know, it's weird how the art will
Say
change.
that to his face.
I would in my astral form, so he can't hit me. But
Looks like a
I love
gorilla
this Hulk.
here.
I love this. Like he said, like he's like, I'll just bait him. I'll just hit him over the head. He says he can't see me, and he's like, oh crap, he can see me.
It's like, whoa, I wasn't expecting this.
But and yeah, for whatever, because Hulk is two different minds. He's able to sense that there's a presence there, and he's like, someone push Hulk, and I was like, yo brother, someone push Hulk. Hulk don't like this.
It's you who's brainless, brother, not Hulk.
No, stop. Breen.
I like how
Come
Doctor
on.
Strange looks like a Shakespearean bard too. He's got like the short little skirt thing and then the tights.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. It's you who's brainless, not the Hulk, dude. Not the Hulk.
Yes. That's it. It's perfect.
Yeah. Something in his warped nature enables to see me and hear me. I look like
Poor Hulk. Yeah, he's being insulted left, right, and center. If only Doctor Strange would shut his mouth when he can't even be seen, or at least he thinks
you
that.
call a Hulk brainless warped? He's like, Hulk, wake up! Oh crap! You can't do nothing.
Yeah, basically Strange just like teases him and lures. It's like a Looney Tunes. Look, let me taunt
But the
him.
Hulk is like I said, like this is not Savage Hulk. This is like somewhat intelligent Hulk.
No,
Somewhat.
this is the basic Hulk will smash version.
Yeah.
Is this the one from the
Prime.
Cancel series?
No, this is the default personality of the Hulk to people that have never read comics. Because it's like when you think of, even after all these years, if you think of Batman, if you've never, read comics or seen any of the movies, you see the Batman 66 version.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, Hulk will smash was kind of the personality that he was that towards the end of Tales to Astonish, and basically through like 150, 160 issues of his own series. So it's like I said, that's even though that really hasn't been his personality for 30 plus years, that's what everybody thinks of him as. And this is certainly that version.
Go back, Pixel.
Go back. Here we go.
Go back. I like this. We get the Hulk basically paying tribute to Captain America. Hulk never gets tired. Hulk can do this all day.
Ish.
So this is the most stupidest thing. Like for the Sorcerer Supreme, I'll lead him back to my body, and Hulk's like, I'll smash both of you. But luckily, Namor's there, and I love this. The silent sargasso. What is that referencing to?
I love this panel because he's like, now there are two of you, but then I'm gonna he's about to wipe them out, and he's like, Namor, if you fail me now, we're all screwed. Like, jump in here, man.
No, I read it differently. If you fail me now, I will haunt you.
Namor, where are you? Oh, I saw Sue.
Namor said, "Stop."
Now, this may be the greatest single panel of the Hulk ever.
That nose, the Gil Kane shot.
Just the Gil Kane shot. It looks like a shot.
That's why he loves it so much.
Think of the JJJ mustache he could grow in the space between that nose and those lips.
Good lord, yeah.
I need a Hulk with a mustache.
I want him to have can somebody draw the Walrus mustache on there?
Honestly, it's already there. It just needs colored in.
I know, right?
Oh, it's me, the Incredible Hulk.
Incredible Hulk.
Jolly good to say.
Thanks for deflecting that stone, Atlantean. Like he can't use his name anymore. He has to call him like Atlantean. He's
Racist much.
right.
Especially because
So,
that's not where he's from
This
anymore.
was interesting for me because like you think Hulk could just get more and more pissed off, but he's like, okay, Hulk will listen for only a minute though. I'm thinking like,
Can he even count?
I know what. Oh, Hulk done.
1, 2.
Oh.
What comes after that?
So basically,
Fine.
he basically tries to lure the Hulk. He's like, Hulkins, you're stupid. You want to fight? You like to fight? There's plenty of glories. And the Hulk's like, I don't give a shit about glories. I just want people to leave me alone.
Hulk
Hulk
But
doesn't
if
see
you-
much glory in fighting, brother.
But if you want to be Hulk's friend, I'll go with you. I got cupcakes, Hulk. Twinkies. That's how you
You
lure
get a
him in.
big delight in every bite.
I'll be your friend. You bet.
Unless you steal Hulk's Twinkies, then he murders you. So
If you be my friend,
So
I'll
there they
go
go.
with
Look at it. I
you.
love that panel where there's the silhouette. The Hulk is just like, what the heck?
Kuna Matata.
He's got looks like Igor now with the hunchback.
Yes, Hulk will follow.
Namer's like, I'm going swimming.
Nimmer's like, I'm
There we
chilly.
go. And then we get Roy Thomas and his wife. And this is creepy too. He's like, how does he use spell?
What
Hi,
you
I'm a
do
traveling
here?
snakes salesman.
What can I do for
Looks
you,
like-
son?
He looks like Mr. Drysdale from the Beverly Hillbillies.
Have you seen Miss Jane?
All right.
Have you seen this boy?
Have you got any oil on your land?
Why, Ezra. He must be talking about the lighthouse.
Okay,
Not
well, I
my
didn't-
juice.
Well, Ezra is gonna be busy abducting children.
Oh no!
My last name's Miller. Look at her eyes, though. Look at
Yeah,
that.
that's some creepy
That scared
shading.
the
I'm
heck
not
when
gonna
I saw
lie.
that. I was like,
Such a mannerly young man. Not like some these days.
You whore.
You're right, sorry. Still, I could have sworn for a second he was wearing an old
I
opera
have
coat.
to keep my eyes closed so I don't see your shriveled up dinky.
hey,
Oh.
show my box of Twinkies.
I said dinkies.
Tomato, tomato.
So they're like, oh, there's the lighthouse. Oh crap, it's a fortress. And I love the stranger's like, I need to get in here, but I need you guys to weaken the spell for me. Go hammer your fist, brutes. Namer's like, well, I'll go by water. Well, Hulk goes up from the top, like a mindless ape, you know? Now you
Slash,
speak the word.
destroy. Now you speak words. Even
Oh,
I know. Oh, come on, dude. You're more intelligent than that. Have some confidence.
I know.
No, he's always referring to himself in the third person.
Ha! Smash! Destroy!
I
Now
mean,
you speak words even Hulk knows.
I mean, Venkman never does that at all. That was Venkman.
And
Pixel's
Breeze
never
does
done that either. Though I have.
Venkman likey.
But
Go on to next
Puppeting
page.
might have.
Yeah, well, Namer knows Dr. Strangelove. He has no man's necky. He should be told. Tell you do what he must do.
Remember when he said, "Let's waste no words"?
I know, right?
There, he says right there. There is no time to waste on words. After
I
that,
must go find Sue and leave this world to die.
let me
Yeah.
tell you a paragraph why we cannot waste words.
So this is so convenient. He's like, all right, I'm thinking, is he just going to try and burrow through the wall or go to the floor underground? But how convenient. There's a door down there. What is the door for? Just for neighbor to get in. That's all it is. I can't see of it being any other use unless the guy was using a submarine to get into his oceanside base. Yeah, so the Hulk's like, yeah, I'm just going to go through the electric fence. He's like, electric fence? I am not going to hit that. I'll throw a rock through it.
Zach.
Yes.
Zach,
Who says Hulk's stupid?
it's me.
Nothing will stop Hulk from acid bath. Thank God those pants are acid proof.
Chemical peel.
I mean, if they can survive his stretching.
Now they will pay for my feet. Oh yes, all
What
these
if he
flamethrowers.
returned back that banner, but he was still that same size, but he was pink?
He'd die.
He'd be dead. Yeah.
Yes, and then here comes the mammoth flamethrowers. Yes.
Here
Well, Namor
comes
is
the
back in the green ocean. Man, there must be a lot of pollution back in the 60s,
Must have been.
early 70s.
Or
Now,
they couldn't find the blue inkwell.
to answer your question, Bankman, why is there a door down there? Well, it's almost too simple, don't you think? Dun, dun.
It is armed with the sea-begotten strength, which is my heritage. There is no trap I dare defy. Or ram. The walls close in to crush me. I must smash the walls.
You mean break the walls
No,
down?
do
Yeah,
your Leonard Nimoy impression.
It's a trash compactor.
it's illogical. I must break down the walls.
There you go. That's better.
Not great, but better.
These walls were made for walking.
For lesser fish.
Yes.
I am a
less-
greater fish.
So he matters. He's a fish.
Nay, more fish.
So this is the other thing. I think Hulk, he climbs underneath the or crawls under the water or the fire.
Yeah.
I thought he would just walk right through it, or grabbed another rock, and be like,
I would think so. Yeah, like these days, Hulk is fireproof. You'd think he just walked through it.
Hulk would just
but-
get angry. He's just ripped off the ground, you know. But
yeah.
instead, he uses his Bruce Banner intellect, and he says, "I'm coming. You hear me? And hell's coming with me."
I mean, sure he could walk through the flames, but
Where's the
it
fun
still
in
probably
that?
doesn't tickle.
Oh, sure. But you think he thunderclap, or has he not done that by this time in the series?
Oh no, yes. Again, I said you don't always think of those things. Why did Spider-Man never make those wings that he made in Avengers 11 again? Every time someone drops him out of a building, there's nothing to web onto.
Yeah,
Mm.
because he at least glide.
You don't think about those things sometimes.
All right, so then he's going to answer form, and then we get to
The
basically.
Omegatron. Sounds like a
Right.
transformer.
My fellow Autobots.
7 years
And
ago.
then here's the this is the plot twist.
Looks more like
part.
Destro or Chrome
He
Dome.
does- oh yeah, he does kind of look like Destro a little bit.
I shall
It's
make the
so-
world.
This is so cool, though, to go ahead and have. Oh, well, I was waiting for this all the time. You think I wanted to give you 5 hours? Did you think I was dumb enough to do that? No. The plan was for you all along to come here.
You fell into
Generate
my
this
trap.
energy.
Yes.
Doctor Strange, whenever he would get caught with his tunic down, would always say, and we didn't get it this time, "Curse me for a novice." What better opportunity for him to drop that line?
True, he did. Also, Spidey did. He made the parachute, web parachute, but he also did that in some future issues too. Remember, he also did like the plane things on his arms. Yeah,
That's it. Avengers 11 never did it again.
yeah. But
The Omega 13. No, not that Omega.
oh crap! I gotta get my body, and then hopefully I make it back through the electric fence in time.
He does.
Yep.
Oh crap!
Spoilers.
Because it's already destroyed. Hulk's handled that. Hulk handled the fire.
There's
He
still,
handled
there's still electricity going through it though. That's because you put a hole through it.
It's like,
go
you
to the
brought us here to fight machine, and now
The
you
Omega
say
13,
stop?
yes.
And because of the information that he gave them, they're thinking, wait a minute, this is fake. This is magic. It's a hallucination. This isn't the real.
Because Strange had said that earlier. Yeah, we can make you see things.
Can we take a second to appreciate the
Hulk's face.
facial expressions that we've gotten
I
throughout
know.
this issue? Now, keep in mind, just 5 years later, really more like 4 years later, when Ross Andru was given the assignment to draw the first Superman Spider-Man crossover,
Mm-hmm.
they brought Neil Adams in to redo a lot of the faces.
Oh,
I ask you, was that necessary? Look at the
No.
Hulk.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna
Grr.
I'm gonna
I
be
would've-
honest. Like obviously there are some of these faces that are really rough, but there's a lot of this art that I can appreciate that I can
Yeah.
like.
I will
It's
say
No,
this
definitely.
though: the only thing that'll improve this is George Bell inking.
Well, all kidding aside, yeah, I don't know who I forgot to check who inked this.
The Sal Buscema?
No, but whoever it was not that good because if you read any of the Spider-Mans that he did, I think Mike Esposito was kind of his inking partner.
Dan Adkins and Frank Ball or Boyle or
Dan Atkins is better than that. He was he was an inker forever. The other guy, I don't know. That might have been somebody working under an assumed name.
He doesn't want it revealed to the public.
I just gotta say that in some of these panels, Namor skipped leg day a lot. He's looking like Fetterman with hair.
Oh God! And I like, do not touch me, you vandals!
In the name of the eternal Vishanti, no!
Get your hands off of me, you green dirty ape!
Oh no!
Something in the way, and something that stalks Hulk's fist.
Something in the way.
My Psycho Shield.
The Eye of Agamotto.
So dramatic. He's like, when I fall, so does the world. Not only revolves around you, Strange. Just you're not that important.
Yep. And all I can do
yeah.
is instead make the others look like villains to
And
each
now
other.
we get the first transgender character.
Shut up!
He turned the Hulk into a woman.
Hey, no.
He said, Namor's like, I'm just glad Namor hated her and not liked her. That would have been weird.
Hey Hulk, how are you doing this evening?
Fun fact. Now, that woman, Lyra, whatever it is,
Yeah.
she killed the Lady Dorma, who was the love of Namor's life.
Oh.
And she would appear occasionally. And I don't know if she's made any appearances since then, but in Spider-Man, like 211 or 212, she disguises herself as this hot chick and moves into Peter's building.
Oh,
And Peter falls for her. That was
And
between
what-
MJ and Mary or Black Cat and what.
what issue?
It's like because Submariner and Mariner was in 211, 214, and 215 of Amazing Spider-Man.
Those are Roger Stern, weren't those?
And that was I think that's still Denny O'Neil.
Oh. Because I think Roger Stern did 206. That's why I was confused. So maybe they were just taking.
Yeah, he became the regular writer, I think, after that. I'm not 100% sure.
This was.
But
was
didn't she
really
also?
cool.
Didn't she also want to be his wife? Wasn't she like jealous?
Yeah, she probably was. Because, at the time, he was the, Emperor of Atlantis.
Yeah. All right.
This
and
was
we get,
really cool. I like how Doctor Strange beats the Omega android, where he's like counting down, and Doctor Strange is just like, he says this chant and basically slows down time around the Omegatron. Time now passes far more slowly for the Omegatron.
yeah. So instead of 5 hours, it's like 5 billion years.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Right.
Since they couldn't stop him.
You're
basically
not
just-
the hated Lyra. You're better looking than she was.
Hulk want to know why fish have boner.
Thus Earth now
yeah.
has countless years to live. Hulk's like, this is too confusing for me. Let me go be alone.
That's right. I'm done with
Everett-
all you guys. And even a callback to Avengers. I don't like it.
He's like, Defenders, what a fitting name for such a group as we, if we ever need to meet again. He's like, hey, never want to be with you again, Bozo. Pretty much.
I was in a group once. I didn't like it. They
Yeah.
turned against me.
I think we're alone now.
So then he creates a little spell to make that look like a normal lighthouse
hmm
off the port of Maine.
That's a really cool. Yeah, it's a really cool final shot, though.
So if you live in
Collinswood.
this, I'm just saying, if you live in Maine and you're still looking for this lighthouse, it doesn't exist.
Till the next issue of The Defenders.
Yeah, it's
they
the dreaded Dormammu.
return, but so does the dread Dormammu.
The Dormammu.
We're obviously not going to go. I
So
don't
this
think
was
we'll-
the cool thing about this. You said before, this is the story of how Doctor Strange came back. That was referenced in the very one we just did a retrospective on it. So
Yes, but I want to go ahead and just quickly show this
it's cool.
other
cloak.
Doctor Strange with the blue mask that is truly
It's Dr.
superior.
Manhattan.
You
Dr.
see,
Manhattan with the cloak of levitation.
it's very cool. It's bad, but it's very cool.
It's very long.
Like I can imagine like a synthetic Doctor Strange, like if Vision and Doctor Strange had a baby, this is it.
Yeah,
There you go.
I can see
Wait,
that.
would that be called Strange Visions? Their new
It'd be-
title?
It'd be called Wong.
Or,
Very Wong.
Now, another little useless factoid. This plot line, I guess they figured everybody would have forgotten it in the ensuing 6 years or so. There was an Avengers inventory story that when back before Shooter, the dreaded Deadline Doom would get almost every title from time to time. And 2 issues into the Korvac saga, they couldn't meet the deadline, so they ran a story with basically the same plot where a guy had set it up to when he died, the world would explode, and they just basically froze his heartbeat and put him in, cryogenic, freezer. So it's basically the same plot.
Yeah. Overall, I have to say I really did like this issue. I really liked the story. Loved the villain. The characters interacting with each other. Great. Top. We talked about Invaders last week, and I liked Invaders okay. I did. But this is just so much better. It's on point with everything.
I like the mix of science and sorcery that because I think that's like the main thing, because like you have characters like Silver Surfer and who does like the cosmic stuff, and then Doctor Strange, but then you have the science you got. I like the mix of it. It's really cool.
Well, later on, this is about a year, a little bit more than a year later, they did the Avengers Defenders War.
Yeah.
Actually, about 2 years later, because I forgot it was bi-monthly at first. And by that time, it was the 3 of them, the Silver Surfer, Valkyrie, and Hawkeye, who had left the Avengers because he was in love with Scarlet Witch when he found out she was digging the Vision. He went out to California, went out to San Francisco to win the Widow back. Found out she was with Daredevil. So the poor guy was just.
So Mockingbird, I'm here. Let's go out.
Yeah, she at the time she was in the Savage Land as Bobby Morse with Kazar.
So he had his hand for several nights.
So
how do you go from Kazar to Spider-Man, Bobby Morse? Jeez.
So he just hooked up with the Defenders, and when they had the Avengers Defenders War, the Defenders just kicked the living shit out of the Avengers in pretty much every head-to-head battle.
I don't think we've covered that yet.
No, we haven't, and I haven't read that.
It's the first of its kind in comics history. It's the first multi-part, legitimate crossover. Because I say that because every year the JSA and the JLA would meet, but the JSA didn't have a book, and they were hardly team-ups because they would basically. Well, I mean, it's kind of set up the same. They just a couple of characters would go off and do things, but this was it. It ran through Avengers, the tail end of 115 through 118, and Defenders 9, 10, and 11. And you've probably seen the cover for Defenders 10, which is probably the most iconic Thor Hulk battle. But it's really good. And Steve Englehart was writing both books. And he had to beg Roy Thomas to let him do it.
Wow.
He basically said, I'm gonna let you use it, but God help you if any of these are late. It wasn't, and for good or ill, depending on how you look at it, that was basically the first true event in comics.
Nice.
Neat.
So I remember, was that? Or am I thinking of the other? I thought that was where you had Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer.
Silver Sulfur.
Silver Surfer. Yes, it's a new villain. No, I remember him, and I remember the whole issue with it was number 10 with Thor and Hulk were battling against each other, weren't they?
They were the last fight.
Yeah,
because they basically
because
the evil eye had been split into 6 pieces.
Yeah,
and
they're competing to get all the pieces together.
Dormammu was basically getting the Defenders to do his bidding, and Loki, who had been blinded in a Thor story, was kind of along for the ride. But he realized real early on, if Dormammu wins, we're all screwed. So he got the Avengers to basically face the Defenders. So each team sent people to these 6 places.
Yeah, I remember Black Panther was on it, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, and it was the Vision fought the Silver Surfer, but the natives tried to sacrifice Scarlet Witch to a volcano.
Mm-hmm.
So the Vision basically quit the fight. But the Silver Surfer would have won that.
You had Doctor Strange, and he had to go through. He posed an old lady after going through a tree.
Doctor Strange fought Mantis in Black Panther and just stepped on him.
Yeah, that's great.
Valkyrie beat the Swordsman. Hawkeye used trickery to beat Iron Man.
Yep.
And let's see, what was the other one? Submariner, and Captain America. Submariner wins that fight. He's too powerful, but that was the battle where they realized they should be working together. But by
it's
that
always
time,
the Captain America battles that end in that.
by that time, and then basically the Hulk and Thor had half of issue 10 to themselves, and it basically came down to a test of strength, and they're both like locked up for an hour.
Don't spoil it.
When the 2 teams get there. No, it's
everybody's drinking cooked tea. I don't know if they're done yet. No,
but it's. I mean, and honestly, the actual battle issue is really cool because they basically Dormammu's magic is turning everybody into these mindless creatures that live in his dimension. But all the Marvel superheroes come to help fight, and then there's like individual panels that show some of the other people that get involved, and they show Dracula, Warlock, Thanos gets like one tiny panel, because imagine a time when that's pretty much all he rated.
Yeah,
and it ended very interestingly, and since Englehart was writing both books, he could keep what was the subplots that were going, because at this time Wanda was very anti-humanity. And because she was seeing all the bigotry that was just sent her way about being in love with the Vision, and including from her own brother. That's why Pietro quit the team. But it's really, really good.
I know Pietro can't really speak about dating because he was getting a girl that was also cheating on him with Johnny.
And then the girl left him for Ronan the Accuser.
No, Crystal left Johnny for Pietro.
Oh, okay. I thought they were already together. Yeah,
and then she leaves Pietro for Johnny.
Well, wasn't she already with Pietro first, and then went to Johnny?
No.
Okay, I apologize. I stand corrected.
And then at the Hickman, where we're at reading Hickman's Fantastic Four, she's with Ronan, even willing to go against her own family.
Yeah,
Crystal, come on.
I didn't say it's perfect.
Yeah.
But there's a 12-issue Vision Scarlet Witch miniseries that leads up to the birth of the 2 kids. That I also highly recommend. But Crystal starts shacking up with this totally normal real estate dude in the town that Wanda and Vision have moved into.
So so cool. That guy got some high quality real estate. Do you like what he was selling?
Hey.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely interested in reading that. Actually, I'm interested in trying to see if I can put together a thing, and if we can just go through that, why not? I mean, you guys and the puppets.
Someday we'll have to read Inhumans. I wanna see what Black Bolt says.
Not a lot.
That'll be your only part, Pinkman.
No, that's,
You will be
What?
Black Bolt.
It's time to monologue.
Not if you're Black Bolt.
Quiet.
see what this is one of those things that there were things that you used to just weren't done at Marvel. And unfortunately, since Brubaker was able to pull off Bucky, it kind of opened the floodgates for other nonsense. One of the great things about Black Bolt, through all the first 30, 40 years of his existence, we all knew he couldn't talk, but you never got a thought balloon.
Yeah.
You never got inside his head.
You always had Medusa there to kind of translate
Yeah.
what he was saying. Yeah.
And that was obviously by design, and that was just one of the things that the little touches that made Marvel so superior to DC in those years.
Oh, I want to see that Pfizer ad where Black Bolt gets COVID and he sneezes.
Well, yeah. So what was it that idiot Saladin Ahmed's run where he's just palling around with Absorbing Man and chatting up a storm? That's like I said, that's. If you wonder why I haven't read Marvel in over 10 years, it's crap like that.
Do you know how you solve that? You just cut all his vocal cords. You get rid of his powers. So if he sneezes,
but there was an issue of the Inhumans where he'd been tortured for so long that he finally just like cried out in pain. Basically took Adelan with him, and because his just slightest whisper would just cause chaos, and it's a shame that they've just gotten rid of all that.
But they didn't forget in the MCU. That's how they killed him, bastards.
Well, he what mouth?
Even then, that was so dumb. The MCU, him speaking even without the mouth, he would have took out her too.
Well, that was the point.
No, she got rid of his mouth, but he still the vocal thing would have it's that strong. Wouldn't you think it would have took out her too? All the rest of them?
No, because it was contained within him. With his power set, with how it's supposed to work, it's supposed to come from him. But if it's blocked in, it's got nowhere to go. So straight inside, because it doesn't destroy his body every time he speaks. So his body can withstand that, but his insides can't.
I'm sorry. If he covers it, goes this, and then goes this, it's got his hands going. Oh god.
Yeah, his hand would go because there's space for it to go.
Yeah.
Comic book logic.
Comic book logic. Comic book logic. You still would have took him out, both of them. Started having him out.
Overall, I just got to go ahead and say this book was really good. I'm glad that we decided to do this. I know we did, or y'all did, reading last week or last Sunday of issue 18. That was good as well, but this was like top notch.
This was a good book to retrospect on for sure.
Yeah,
first 5 years or so of the Defenders was just great. Steve Gerber wrote it for a couple of years, and I'm going to say he did the majority of his creating under the influence. But it was very. He's one that brought back the Headmen with like the woman with the crystal ball for a head, the ape with the human face, the Headmen.
I think her name was Ruby.
And some of those were characters from like the Marvel Gold and Silver Age, just monster books.
That's what I kept thinking. I was like she was also in She-Hulk too. Remember She-Hulk?
Yeah, Byrne brought some of those back.
Yeah.
But he was writing it when they had Valkyrie getting a public brawl and probably the first superhero to ever be arrested for property damage and ended up in jail for about a year. But the 3 issues of feature and like the first 60 or so issues. I mean, I like it ran for 152 issues. I liked it all, but the earlier issues are incredible because you have Power Man comes and goes a lot in those years.
He just likes hot coffee.
So you don't have to worry about that, Zach.
They do a storyline where they finally bust the Sons of the Serpent, which is basically the Marvel's version of the KKK. And the guy in charge of the Serpents ends up being black.
Plot twists.
I mean, Marvel wouldn't dream of doing that in a way to choke off a
Was he?
Xavier.
Was he blind like Dave Chappelle? In that
No,
Dave Chappelle
because he even gets in a discussion with Luke Cage. I think he goes, "Do you feel a kinship with someone just because you have the same color skin?" He goes, "Of course you don't." And so, I mean, and that was pretty heady stuff for the mid-'70s.
Yeah.
I still can't believe I'm looking on that fandom thing about the Marvel feature story.
Mm-hmm.
They're calling him Steven Sanders for a while.
Yeah.
So strange. In his original canceled book.
Oh.
Yeah, that second story, they go ahead.
Yeah.
Steven Sanders. No, what?
No.
Oops.
No.
Sounds like a hardware special.
Well, yeah.
Peter Palmer.
So apparently, Doctor Strange series had been canceled, and that was the
Banner.
story
Yeah,
that relaunched it.
I mentioned it. That's
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
I want because who was writing the original series? You remember?
well, Stan Lee,
Lee.
originally. Then I think Roy Thomas was writing the 169 through 183, and the Defenders were fairly successful, so they brought his series back. I think in late '74.
Yeah.
And I think it might have been Steve Englehart at the time.
Bill Everett was the anchor on that first story, The Day Defenders, when we were talking about that first one. The Return is Don Heck. Which is,
that's his art's unmistakable.
Yeah, Frank Giacola is doing the inking on that too as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't forget about the guy who basically lettered both of them, Mr. Sam Rosen.
You can't. You gotta. Mr. Rosen.
Sam and Artie must have been two busy dudes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they were all hand-lettered in those days.
Yeah.
Because Bill Everett was he did the inking on the Defenders, so the first one, the first story.
He was the creator of the Submariner.
Yeah, because he did all the pencils on Submariner.
He died not long after that, so he probably was not in the best health even then.
I was gonna say he had these guys are probably in their 40s, right in this 30s, because it's right after World War II.
Roy,
or not after, but I mean like 20 years after. So you imagine most people went in there 18.
Yeah, Bill Everett he died he was not that old when he died. I mean 50 something, I think. Roy Thomas was probably 30 when he wrote this.
Makes you wonder, did he die of lung disease from smoking like a chimney?
He may have.
But that day, those guys didn't smoke cigarettes; they smoked cigars.
Classic, yeah.
Look at Jonah. Jonah has always got a cigar in his mouth.
Those guys were
how
smoking.
I keep myself young and beautiful.
I mean, unfiltered, pack upon pack. Because those used to be as cheap as anything. And
literally, Bill Everett died 2 months later after this came out.
I thought he died in '73.
He's right. It is 73 because it's a 70. Wasn't it 72?
Well, this was cover month, December '71. So this was probably about.
Oh, okay. So he had a You're right. He had a year. So from 1970 to 1973. That's not that old.
It's 56.
Yeah.
Well, now this conversation has gone.
What's in his hand? Cigarettes.
Well, that's not that surprising in those days.
But the other thing too is cool. He had the pipe. That's what he had. The tobacco pipe. Oh. Well, actually, cigarettes back then, did they have filters on them? Probably not, right?
Not all of them.
I think you had a choice, filtered or non-filtered.
Well, Camels didn't.
Yeah.
Still don't.
damn camels and their smoking habits.
I thought they
But,
just drink a lot of water.
Yeah, he started Timely with an Atlas, and then later for Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah.
February. Oh. Well, he did Daredevil too, right? It was him.
Yeah.
Crazy. His daughter is Wendy Everett. Didn't she do? Apparently it's Marvels.com that says that she actually did some art too.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I think this is she was here. Look it up. But I don't know if she did anything else, but she did some Marvel work, I think. Overall, though, this is a fun story. Just getting everything in here.
Sorry to leave on such a somber note.
No.
Yeah, no, because no, this is a lot of. I think this is a very good issue, and I'm definitely looking forward to reading some more because they were great.
That's it. I'm glad you guys are reading some of this stuff now because you hear us old men talk about how great Marvel was back in the day.
You gotta see it for yourself.
Sometimes you do.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's very difficult to get. It's hard to convince people that some of this stuff is worth checking out. And like I said, I mean, personally, I think it all is. I mean, obviously, some is better than others, but I said that I think you guys have pretty much liked everything that we've recommended so far. And by we, I mean me and Aaron. I'm not saying I'm not.
So his daughter was an artist, but she did an interview with somebody, and so this guy basically said, like, talking about Bill Everett, saying he told me in the late 60s that when he looked back at the early 40s, what he saw was a very angry young man that he later recognized himself. So basically, when he was doing like drawing Namor, it was pretty much his own emotions putting into the character. That's like
that actually is really interesting.
It is.
There you go.
But she says but the daughter says, like, well, my dad was also charming and into like witty stuff like that. So basically, she said my dad was pretty much Namor.
There you go.
I said some of those old creators had it. I think about Wally Wood, who ended up basically losing his ability to work due to, I think, like arthritis or something like that, and massive amounts of drinking, and he ended up taking his own life in 1981. But because he it's worked on Daredevil in the early days also, and had a huge falling out with Stan Lee. But again, I said it's funny. I said there's
it was Kirby and Stan first for Daredevil, right? And then
no. I think Everett was the artist at the beginning.
Okay.
And then Wally Wood, and then I think John Romita. Might have been somebody else in there also, but it's funny how the people that had Ditko had problems with Lee, Kirby had problems with Lee, and then Wally Wood had problems with Lee. But look, obviously the common denominator is Stan Lee.
They're all jealous.
Until you look a little closer and realize, well, Jack Kirby had problems with Joe Simon. That partnership broke up. Jack Kirby worked for everybody because unfortunately, as good of a creator as he was that bad of a businessman. Wally Wood was an alcoholic and a very creative person. So I'm sure, and Stan, in addition to writing all this stuff, basically it was his job to make sure the trains ran on time. So it's,
I mean, what you just said, he worked with Romita on quite a few books, and they worked for a long time together.
Yeah,
a long time together.
And you don't.
Well, yes, but I mean, you're not seeing
you don't see
on the same title,
right?
You're not seeing the same pattern there. At least it doesn't seem like it. So,
no, they got along.
Ooh, there you go.
They're all human at the end.
So Kirby did draw Daredevil. That's right. Yeah, in issue 39 and 40, when they Daredevil appeared in Fantastic Four.
That would have been. He drew the character Daredevil. Yes.
Yeah. We didn't actually work on the book though.
Yeah, that was a storyline where Doctor Doom found a way to take their powers. So Reed had to create artificial powers for him.
You see, I had to take their abilities. It just had to be done. I had no choice.
So the fact that you can get the sweet art we get now with basically Daredevil and that issue is he takes his cane out and he just fires it as a gun.
The Thing has a remote control thing that he operates.
That's going to be a fun one to get to.
I mean, I'm looking at some of these Daredevil early issues. There's Daredevil number 13 with the Kazar. I kind of want to read that now. I'm looking at that.
I was talking with Ash last night about Frank Miller, about Daredevil Born Again, and apparently, like, Miller wrote some really, like, baller narration. Like, right at the end, the Avengers come in, and he's like, Daredevil has, like, thought bubbles or narrations talking about Captain America, and then he's like, he had a voice that could command a god, and it just, like, cuts to Thor in the middle of a storm. And I was like, oh, I kind of want to read that now. That sounds awesome.
Oh, Born Again's a really good story, and obviously they're adapting it, but there's only so much they can do because they did bring in a character called Nuke, Captain America, some Avengers cameos.
Yeah,
but
I think Nuke was in one of the Jessica Jones seasons, I believe.
He might have been.
I think so. Yeah.
So the Puppetina posted in there, that link in there, that's the interview with I was talking about between Wendy, the daughter of Bill Everett, and the interview talking about his dad. Cool information. So if you want to follow that link, go there too after we're done.
Which we pretty much should be. We're an hour.
We're an hour in, and then as far as that. So, but definitely, dude, if we don't do a reading here, I'm gonna be looking at Daredevil 12 and 13 with Kazar. Kazar is in a sewer.
So let's give the youngin chance to rest his voice. Let Zach go, forsake us as he is wont to do.
What a bastard!
The more I look at Zach, the more I'm thinking he's starting to look like that guy Fred.
Fred.
Scooby Doo.
Fred.
He's starting to look like a rogue Chuck
Wow.
Cunningham.
Well,
Fred
if your hair was
Scooby-Doo?
Give me an ask.
what he's going for.
Yeah,
I don't wear an ascot.
But it's like resembling because you're wearing the collared shirt underneath that jacket. It's kind of
okay. Okay.
I can see it. Like it's
if
coming
Fred
together.
didn't shave for 3 weeks, yeah, maybe I could see it.
Well, after Daphne became lesbian with the Velma, of course he didn't stop shaving.
That
He started
didn't
drinking.
happen.
He started wating. What are you talking about? Fred watched.
He would start watching.
Zach,
All right.
because you would watch.
Fred would say.
Fred would say, "Hey,
fully
Shaggy,
support this.
let me hit that. Let me hit that, and you can watch with me."
If you like this type of content, may I suggest a different channel and better content?
May I suggest reevaluating your life?
We are.
But while you're doing that, donate to ko-fi.com/Palpatine.
But we're arguably still overpriced.
There you go.
$1
Please make sure to
day
like.
$1 a day keeps a pervy Zach away.
No, it doesn't. He's right here. He's right here.
For just
He still
65
showed
cents
up.
a day, you can sponsor Zach.
Please make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. You
Help
should
Zach
read
go to
this
Africa.
issue. If you haven't, you are
Yes.
robbing yourself of
You are.
fantastic content.
It's true.
And go read it, then come back.
Be
Sure you
kind
can
to
find it
yourself.
somewhere.
Zach
Be
needs
kind-
help to
Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And let's just make this a good day. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah,
Oh,
every
for
dollar
God's
helps
sake,
Zach
shut
adopt a
up.
kid from Africa.
That's right. Fuck everybody.
What happened to Edith Joe? Start forest fires. Freakishly long fingers.
Those are only on the
These
readings.
fingers.
Those are only on the readings that we don't do.
They're coming
Ever.
through the computer like the
Because somebody
ring.
always wants to not read.
Good night.
Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Hasta
Goodbye.
la vista.
Also,